We are back again with another design video, but we won't be designing today. We are going to be talking about design. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and already just do what you need to do. Go ahead and subscribe. I'll give you a second. Even though you know we'll be here every Wednesday. But anyways, I do want to talk about like the fundamentals of design, because as I'm posting these videos, I'm starting to think, why would you be enticed to buy these Adobe programs if you don't even know what design is or what it can do for you? Even if you're a businessman or like an entrepreneur or anything, I mean, anything that you do, graphic design is going to be needed for your business. You're gonna need a logo, you're gonna need branding, you're gonna need stuff to market with. So graphic design is a very fundamental thing for all businesses, if you want a business or even if you work for a business. And it's just fun too if you maybe want to illustrate. So there's just so many different reasons why, you know, you might want to design. Maybe you don't want to be a designer, but it is a fun hobby, and I do think it's a lucrative hobby. So, you know, anyone can be a designer. You do not have to know how to draw. That's another thing. It's a benefit, but you don't have to. So, okay, I'll go ahead and just dive into what, one, I'll talk about color and like our idea behind design, or maybe like our motive, you know, why we do what we do. Me and Liz, we wanted there to be, one, we met in graphic design together in high school. That's how we met. And being two minority women of color, you don't see people like us in graphic design, not too often. You really don't. And I think that's why we became friends, for obvious reasons. We just naturally were like, okay, we kind of are similar in some way compared to, you know, this workforce. Graphic design is mainly, you know, white men or Asian men, period. So yeah, I do think it is important for us to voice why design is important, because anyone can be a designer. It's not just for that demographic. It can be you. Yeah, so with that, I'll go ahead and talk about the fundamentals of design, what technically makes a bad design and what makes a good design. And the fundamentals of design, you're going to find it in every design, inevitably.
Indubitably.
You just will, undoubtedly. Like, so I would say, well, there are 5 fundamentals: line, shape, form, texture, and balance. So all of those 5 things are typically in a good design. You're just going to see it in all designs, but as we get more postmodern and minimalistic, that might not be a thing. But I'm not going to talk about all that. So, line connects 2 or more points. You use it to, you know, underline a word to give more emphasis to it, or maybe you used a line to create like a little design, or a pattern of lines of some sort. Line is always, even if it's just the type, is always going to be in a design. Shape is taking that line and creating a circle, a square, and creating a square. You know, making a triangle, or shape is any 2D area with a visible boundary. I had to read that. Yes, I had to read that. You know, it is an enclosed environment. So it can be geometric or organic. A lot of very good designs combine organic and geometric. I mean, even bad ones do too. I mean, come on. What I personally like, throwing in my bias there. I do like geometric and organic. So form is when a 2D shape becomes more 3D. So adding some sort of depth, some sort of shading in order to create it in a space, like it makes it look like it's in the space. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's form. That is form. So, and then there's texture, which, you know, going back to line in the pattern, you're going to see texture in pretty much anything and everything. It is the physical quality of a surface. It gives everything depth in a way, like that form that you have, that shape form. The shading of that and the texture, that's adding the texture to that. Texture, I would say that you're not going to necessarily find that in every design. That's one that I would say you may not, but you could say, like for each print, if it comes out matte, that is technically a texture. If it comes out glossy, that's technically a texture, if you want to be technical. But in the actual design that you did in the computer, sometimes, especially with all of this digital media and Instagram posts, a lot of them are flat and do not have texture. So I would argue that. Balance is the equal distribution in visible weight. Visible weight. This is important because it doesn't have to be equal distance between everything or an equal weight, literally. It's just that visibly it needs to look balanced. It needs to look like, yeah, that should be there, you know? Is very important. So, okay, sorry y'all, I'm getting text messages, but turn that sound off. But yeah, and those fundamental, those 5 things, if you can get them into one, you never want to overwork anything. Don't overwork it. When you use your gut feeling when creating things, nothing should ever be overworked. Creating is a beautiful moment, so don't ruin it by overthinking. I tend to do that. So yeah, that is it. I just wanted to just quickly come on here and, you know, show y'all that design really is not that intimidating. Just go for it. Your design could literally be a line, but if that line is doing its thing and it's balancing, it's got some texture, it's got all of that going on, then you do have a good design. Like, don't let anyone tell you what is technically a good design or a bad design. Even me, even after I just told you all of this. Don't listen, but subscribe. Yeah. Tell me what y'all would want to see next. I wanted to try something different just to get a little more personal with y'all and actually talk and not just be designing and making y'all work every time you come to this channel. So let me know what y'all would want to hear about, maybe in another video, and I will see y'all next Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching.